Great, great. So, Ryan, do you have any book or movie recommendations for people listening to the podcast in this topic?
Oh, that's a great one. I think like just to kind of be in the science fiction side of things, you know, I think just Snow Crash and a bunch of Neil Stephenson's books are almost like mandatory reading. That's like the arithmetic. I happen to like Ready Player One. We were advisors with Spielberg on the film for a bit, which was really fun. It's a easier to swallow version of like Snow Crash. It's like came later, inspired by it, but it's like if you're a video game geek, you'll like it. I think the book and the movie just kind of give you a taste of thing. Rainbow's End is another good primer just to understand things. But actually, what I really like is like C.S. Lewis and Tolkien books. Like the Narnia books and the all of the Tolkien books, because they get down to serious mythological world building, mythopia building. I think Asimov did that in his books as well, but I'm more partial to sort of like the C.S. Lewis and Tolkien. And I think there's like lots of great like philosophy of democracy books, like the writings of Jefferson, Adams, like Washington. I think weirdly, reading about the founders of the US, which sprouted democracy in the midst of global monarchy, is an interesting thing to do. One of my friends is like a constitutional historian and an attorney, but he loves that whole period of like with Adams and Washington, Jefferson. He sort of got me into all this. So he's constantly writing about all that. If you go read it, if you go read all those early works, they are quite revolutionary, where they're rejecting the idea of monarchy and the idea that Washington left. They wanted to make him king, and he said no. 2 terms and done. I have not seen somebody walk away voluntarily. Think about what just happened in this country. Could you imagine a president voluntarily walks away when they want to anoint him king? And you see so many countries, so many places where you got to peel this crazed dictator out, and often they're like, caught in a hole, or they burn down their whole country, or something horrible happens. The greatness of Washington was he could have been the monarch and he walked away. That's a 1 in 1,000 years kind of event. Not because it was the rule, not because of anything, because he knew it was the right thing to do. And I feel like studying that, it's got lots of imperfections, right? Like they missed women, they missed people of color, they missed so many other things. But so you have to upgrade the software for what they were thinking to today. But the walking away from power, which is also something Tolkien talked about, where the hobbits get the ring and ultimately they have to put it in the volcano and destroy that power, is an essential notion of democracy. No person should hold that power. So I feel like books like the founders of the United States and others that write about early democracy, it's worth reading if you care about where these X verses will go, because it's a power play or it's not a power play. For some, it's a power and economic control play. For others, it's creative expression, freedom, and imagination. And we're going to go one way or the other, and there's going to be a big culture clash.